Get these sweet ass paddles out. I'm standing here and I don't really know what to do with my hands. Welcome to Cellar Rats and the Cellar Rats, I says. Anywho. He's crazy. I like that about him. Well, hello there, and welcome to Cellar Rats and the Cellar Rats. I'm Jesse Inman.
And I'm the Beard, formerly known as Aaron Inman.
Looks terrific, if I may say so myself.
Very full, very full.
Today we're going to talk about wines, per usual, but we have a special little game for you called Guess That Price.
The game's super simple, yet very nuanced. We're going to taste Pinot Noirs with our mouths. Then we're going to tell you, with our brains, how much we think those are.
So whereas normally we're on the same team, today it'll be against one another. Brother versus brother.
Spaghetti Western style. Alright, so all we're going to know about these wines is that they're Pinot Noir. We're very familiar with Pinot Noir, we've been making it a long time, but as we know, Pinot Noir can come from all over the world. If you've seen our past episodes, Lucky Rock versus the World, where we taste Pinot Noirs from New Zealand, France, other places, America.
Where's Merca?
I believe it's in Ohio.
Ah, Merca, yeah.
Can we see the paddles, please?
I see. We have a 10 to 15. We have a 15 to 20. We have a 20 to 25. We got a 25 to 30. And we got a 30 to 35.
Cha-ching!
Just below my age group, unfortunately. You get 1 point for each category you get correctly.
And then we have a tiebreaker at the end. If we're tied, we won't be. I'm going to smoke show. But if we're
You're
tied,
gonna smoke some.
well, I'm either going to look like amazing or I'm going to look like a real asshole after that
Chump
comment.
ass chump.
I guess we'll find out in about 10 minutes. But the tiebreaker wine, we will guess the price, and whoever's the closest wins absolutely nothing.
Fuck that. Pride, bro.
Pride. I meant pride. So before we jump into this game, we're going to talk a little bit about how wine's priced. Because there's cheap wine, medium price wine, expensive wine. Why is a wine priced the way it is? Forks in the, what do they call that? Pitchfork in the sand.
Line in the sand.
Line in the sand. That's,
So
what,
line in the
that's what
sand.
the folks say. Is we're all
I'm
about,
starting to feel like we're on the same team here.
yeah. Feel good.
Yeah,
Feels nice.
good. Feels nice. Camaraderie.
We are big into high price to quality ratio, low price to quality ratio, however you want to slice it. Basically, we want the best wine to cost the least.
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah.
So what makes some wines cost more than others? It's
I don't know, tell us.
It's actually it's actually quite simple. A lot of it has to do with how the wine's made. Oak is one of them. You can expect a few dollars more per bottle if the wine's seen oak.
Oak is $1,000 a barrel, give or take, if you're using French oak. That adds a lot of money to your wine.
Yeah. You've got how long the wine was held.
Time is money.
Before it was released. That's a big one. But honestly, at the end of the day, land. Land is a big reason that your wine can be cheap or expensive. If you've got Napa Valley, for example, which is just 30 miles that way, you got vineyard land that's going for about $310,000. Yes, that's right, $310,000, upwards of $400,000 an acre.
That's slightly more than $1 trillion.
I'm not going to check his math, but I believe him. I'm going to have him do my taxes, in fact. So at the end of the day, price and quality are correlated, but they're not a sure thing.
Sure. Yep.
There's going to be expensive wines that taste like shit, and there's going to be some cheaper wines that taste pretty good.
We've done some tastings together where the most expensive wine in the room, people are trying to justify it with like, oh, it's got this and that. I'm like, that sucks. It was $150. I would never buy that. I wouldn't even drink it out of
Why are you defending that murderous wine?
Because they paid for it. Let the tasting begin.
All right, so I've got wine one here. Color's a little lean, a little maybe not so concentrated. Makes me think maybe it's cheap. I don't know. Lacking on fruit a little bit, a little sweet, a little bit kind of skunky. The mouth is a little sweet, like it's got sugar in it, which makes me think that's maybe on the cheaper side. I'm gonna go with that wine is here.
Mild reduction. Maybe a little wood chippy. Good fruit. So this is a toughie. I'd say it's over here. Now I have to decide which one. I'm gonna go here. We have Sonoma Collection. Sonoma
The
Collection.
Sonoma Collection. Delicious. Wine numero dos. Okay. Color's a little light. Hue's a little prematurely oxidized, possibly. The nose isn't super robust. The fruit's a little bit almost like leathery. It kind of reminds me a little bit of more of like a warmer climate Pinot, maybe with higher production. I'm gonna say that this wine is here. Final answer. Please let me get into Harvard.
I'm realizing this is harder when you're not tasting them side by side, because you can be like, oh, this one, that one, and you can slowly kind of move them around. But tasting them independently, it's like, what did the last one taste like? A little bit higher VA, which is volatile acidity vinegar, which usually you'll get from barrel aging. There's a little bit more vanilla. It's got more integrated tannins, almost too soft. So I would say this is probably 25 to 30. Final answer? Damn, this is tough. Damn, this is tough. Castle Rock. Near and dear to our hearts.
Castle Rock. Thought the flavor profile was similar to something that I've had before. So this is wine number 3, and it's immediately darker than the other two that I tried. Not that correlates into better or worse, but it definitely has a little more of a garnet color, where the other ones were a little more translucent red. And this one has a little more complexity to it, maybe a little more oak. We go with, I'm gonna go here. That's my final answer.
Wine number 3. It's a little bit darker. It's got a little bit of a soy saucy look, teriyaki sauce on the outside, which makes me think it maybe is over extracted, maybe grown from maybe a warmer region, and then beat up a little bit. And it's got a lot of root beery characteristics, which I think American oak sometimes get root beer. I'm losing my options here, but maybe here.
I thought that was French, but it's New Zealand.
Grey Whack.
Grey Whack. That's what happens when you're old. All right, so this is wine number 4. A little bit lighter on the color too. Hue's a little salmon, kind of pink, maybe a little bit beat up. I like the mouthfeel on this one a little bit more than I have maybe the first 2, but less than number 3. I'm gonna go with final answer on this one. Well, this is tricky. This is tricky stuff here. It's tough doing it blind. Somebody's got to do it. We do it for the people.
Wine number 4. Pretty soft. And usually when you're going on the higher end side, they try and get more extraction. I think it's like, maybe they feel like you're getting your money's worth. But it feels like oak barrels. And it's hard to say. I'm gonna play it safe. Go in the middle. Calera.
El Calera. Alright, so Pinot Noir. Not a lot of concentration in the color. Doesn't mean anything per se. The nose is a little rustic. Not a ton of fruit, but some fruit. Let's see. I'm going to say that this wine is $17.
This one's for all the peanuts. Just with that root beer, that's all I can taste is root beer, sassafras. I'm gonna say $16.
Oh, that's the one from Macedonia.
That's a ringer.
So the Grey Whack had the most concentration.
Yeah.
And I thought the most complexity, but I didn't actually love the wine that much. The New Zealand Pinot sometimes have that roasted kind of too much earthy, beady quality to it, and that one had some of that I don't necessarily love. The one that maybe is the most disappointing to me is actually the Calera Central Coast, because I actually have had that wine before and usually like it, and I thought it kind of showed beneath its price.
And that was the last one we tasted?
It was number 4.
That one, for me, didn't really knock it out of the park, but it tasted higher end to me. That's why these things are interesting, because it's like you can tell where they're trying to go with the wine because of the woods maybe that they put on there, or whatever finesse they want to put on there. And I felt like that one had a higher end, even though I didn't really love it.
Yeah.
Versus the Castle Rock, after I found out this is like $11, $12. For $11, $12, that's a good wine.
Go out and get a case. So anyways, that was interesting. I learned something about you, you learned something about me, and that's all we learned. Nothing else.
Nope.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Wow.